Go back to the fact that I thought you guys couldn't leave the house. I thought it was so bad you couldn't go anywhere. And now you're poking fun at it. So now it's just a big joke? This whole thing's a joke? Huh. Breaking news. Not only did Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively make their first public appearance at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary, they made a joke about it all. Why would you risk this? You're supposed to be out in duress and I can't leave the house. That's what Blake keeps assuming and saying. But now they're out there celebrating, making jokes, making light of it, which Justin Baldoni's legal team could absolutely use against them in Justin's defense.
In the dazzling, often fickle world of Hollywood, where praise is currency and adoration is the lifeblood, can you fathom a scenario where the industry elite actually turns its back on its most cherished couple? For years, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have occupied the highest echelons of celebrity, their names synonymous with success, charm, and seemingly universal appeal. Yet, a disquieting murmur now weaves through the opulent corridors of Beverly Hills and the bustling studios of Burbank. Whispers, initially faint, have grown into a discernible buzz, hinting at an unforeseen misstep. Could a seemingly innocuous, even well-intentioned Saturday Night Live stunt designed to bolster a friend's project have inadvertently unleashed a chilling wave of rejection? The intricate narrative behind this alleged Hollywood cold shoulder is far more nuanced and unexpectedly complex than initial impressions suggest. Prepare to delve into a story of unintended consequences and the precarious nature of fame in the modern entertainment landscape.
Brian Friedman said about that Saturday
What
Night
did you
Live
think
appearance.
when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
For well over a decade, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have not merely existed within Hollywood's sphere, but have actively reigned as its unofficial king and queen. Reynolds, with his signature blend of self-deprecating wit and undeniable charisma, has ascended to become a box office titan, seamlessly transitioning between the grandeur of superhero epics and the relatable humor of comedic roles. Think Deadpool, think Free Guy. His name above the title practically guarantees audience engagement. Lively, equally luminous, has cultivated a persona that extends far beyond her captivating on-screen performances. She is a celebrated style icon, a red carpet darling, and a figure admired for her poise and authenticity. Together, they embody the quintessential Hollywood power couple, achieving individual professional heights while projecting an image of familial warmth and genuine affection. Their public persona is meticulously curated, yet feels organically charming, fostering a deep connection with fans globally. Their ventures are met with anticipation, their opinions carry weight, and their very presence elevates any project they touch. This established narrative of unwavering adoration is precisely what makes the burgeoning rumors of a potential backfire so utterly jarring.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone who's done anything like that, and so it surprised me.
Isn't that what she had said? Isn't that the whole thing? Severe anguish during the feud and she couldn't leave. I mean, is this going to help her legal case to show the apparent damages she's been suffering? Because it sure looks like they're having quite a nice time and it's not affecting their life at all.
Saturday Night Live, the iconic institution of late-night comedy, a cultural touchstone for generations, and a platform imbued with both immense opportunity and inherent risk. For celebrities navigating the relentless currents of fame, hosting or even making a cameo on SNL is typically viewed as a strategic masterstroke, a chance to directly engage with a vast audience, showcase often untapped comedic talents, and maintain a vital sense of cultural relevance in the ever-evolving media ecosystem. Ryan Reynolds, a seasoned veteran of the entertainment industry, is no stranger to the SNL stage, having helmed the show multiple times to generally favorable reviews, demonstrating his comedic timing and willingness to poke fun at himself. Blake Lively, while perhaps less frequently associated with sketch comedy, has also graced the SNL stage, lending her considerable star wattage and enhancing the show's overall appeal. However, beneath the veneer of levity, SNL remains a high-stakes high-stakes arena. Jokes, conceived in the writer's room and performed live, can sometimes miss their mark. Sketches designed to be satirical can occasionally fall flat, and even the most accomplished performers can experience unexpected stumbles in the unpredictable live environment. And it appears, in this particular instance, a seemingly innocuous stunt executed on this very influential platform might have inadvertently initiated a cascade of repercussions that no one within their carefully managed circles could have foreseen.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively showed up to Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary. There they are. The show is still happening. I wanted to watch, but I'm pausing and record this for you so you can see what actually happened right away. This was the first moment I posted this over on Twitter because I couldn't believe to see them there. And then sure enough, yep, a lot of press outlets, obviously the red carpet appearance.
The circulating whispers, now gaining traction within industry circles, consistently point towards a specific, albeit vaguely defined, Saturday Night Live moment, an occurrence seemingly conceived with altruistic intentions. The crucial link in this unfolding narrative? Justin Baldoni. Baldoni, recognized for his emotionally resonant performances in projects like Jane the Virgin and his directorial work on films such as 5 Feet Apart, is currently immersed in the ambitious undertaking of adapting Colleen Hoover's beloved novel, It Ends With Us, for the silver screen. Adding to the project's significance, Baldoni is not only directing, but also starring in the film, alongside Blake Lively in a leading role. Emerging accounts suggest that the now scrutinized SNL stunt was strategically devised as a vehicle to amplify awareness for this particular project, to cast a brighter spotlight on Baldoni's directorial endeavor, and to ensure that It Ends With Us resonated deeply with its target demographic even before its official release. Whether it manifested as a cleverly integrated skit referencing the film's themes, a lighthearted joke embedded within the opening monologue, or simply a prominent and enthusiastic endorsement during the broadcast, the underlying motivation was undeniably benevolent: to harness the formidable combined star power of Reynolds and Lively to elevate a project championed by a close friend and respected colleague. Their aim was to provide a valuable boost to Baldoni and his artistic vision. Yet, as the often unforgiving landscape of Hollywood repeatedly demonstrates, even the most honorable intentions do not automatically pave the path to unqualified success or immunity from unforeseen consequences.
Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
I love the acting. She's really, what? Have you heard something? Have you heard something?
In the immediate aftermath of the SNL broadcast, the initial indicators were overwhelmingly positive. Social media platforms buzzed with enthusiastic commentary. Online entertainment news outlets generated headlines focusing on the comedic moments and celebrity interactions, and the overall online sentiment surrounding It Ends With Us demonstrably surged. Superficially, it appeared to be a textbook example of successful cross-promotional synergy, mission unequivocally accomplished. However, beneath the seemingly placid surface of public perception, a more complex and subtly concerning narrative was beginning to materialize within the inner circles of Hollywood power. A gradual, almost imperceptible shift in the industry's collective atmosphere started to become apparent to those attuned to its nuanced dynamics. Industry insiders, those who operate behind the velvet ropes and decipher unspoken cues, began to detect a certain coolness, a barely perceptible distance. It wasn't a dramatic, publicly declared condemnation or an overt expression of disapproval, but rather a more insidious atmospheric alteration, comparable to the subtle shift in temperature that precedes a storm, a barely detectable chill in the air, hinting at impending turbulence. The initial effusive smiles and congratulatory messages, readily offered in the immediate glow of the SNL appearance, seemed to subtly dissipate, gradually replaced by a more circumspect, almost guarded demeanor. An undercurrent of unease began to permeate conversations, suggesting that something about the seemingly innocuous SNL stunt had resonated in a manner distinctly different from its intended purpose, and the reverberations of this miscalculation were just beginning to ripple throughout the tightly knit fabric of the entertainment industry.
Yeah, okay. Well, my question is that, you know that the materials that they made the cone heads with, are those edible?
Edible? No, and based on them being made in 1975, I'd assume that they're highly toxic.
Oh, okay. So if somebody hypothetically took a couple of nibbles backstage and, got excited. Should they go to the hospital or should they?
Yes, they should go to the hospital right away.
Good.
Good luck.
Great.
Okay, next question. Yes.
Yeah, well, it wasn't funny.
The hushed word now circulating amongst Hollywood's influential circles is not the incendiary outrage, nor the sensational scandal, but something perhaps even more subtly corrosive and professionally damaging within this image-conscious ecosystem: rejection. Crucially, this is not to be interpreted as a formal, publicly disseminated statement of repudiation, or a dramatic blacklisting from future projects. Hollywood's mechanisms of disapproval are rarely so overt, particularly when dealing with its established A-list royalty. Instead, it manifests in the nuanced, often unspoken art of professional distancing. Projects that were once on the fast track to development suddenly encounter inexplicable delays. Previously enthusiastic studio executives become conspicuously less responsive to communication, and the customary chorus of enthusiastic endorsements from industry peers and collaborators gradually becomes muted, replaced by a conspicuous silence. Emerging accounts pieced together from anonymous sources and industry observations suggest that the SNL stunt, in its perhaps misguided attempt to be provocative, edgy, or generate viral attention, might have profoundly misjudged the prevailing cultural and social sensitivities of the current moment. Perhaps the comedic tone adopted within the stunt was perceived as jarringly tone-deaf, particularly if "It Ends With Us" tackles sensitive and potentially triggering themes with gravity and nuance. Or more cynically, perhaps within a town perpetually preoccupied with carefully constructed image and brand preservation, the SNL stunt was perceived as slightly off-brand, incongruent with the meticulously cultivated and generally flawless public personas of Reynolds and Lively. The rejection, therefore, is not about being ostracized from the industry entirely, but rather about a subtle yet undeniably palpable alteration in collective perception, a collective Hollywood eyebrow raise, a shared unspoken judgment that speaks volumes within the closed-door meetings and power lunches of the entertainment elite.
The only thing that was funny was the fact that he made a point, and he kind of had to, being there, which makes me realize and think this was all orchestrated and planned. This was his WME and people getting in and giving Lauren Michaels and Saturday Night Live sort of the opportunity to get them there first, to sort of address it in a room filled with the most famous Bad Bunny, Steven Spielberg, like Will Ferrell, everybody's in this room.
And tragically caught squarely in the unpredictable and potentially damaging crossfire of this unforeseen fallout, Justin Baldoni, the very individual Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively ostensibly sought to champion and uplift through their SNL appearance. The inherent irony of this situation possesses a near Shakespearean quality, a well-intentioned act of support inadvertently yielding the very opposite of its intended outcome. His deeply personal passion project, It Ends With Us, now faces the disheartening prospect of being overshadowed and potentially even negatively impacted by the very stunt strategically designed to propel it into the cultural conversation. Credible industry whispers circulating among film distributors and marketing professionals suggest that the emergent negative buzz, however subtle and internally contained, surrounding the SNL appearance is now indirectly, yet undeniably, influencing the pre-release narrative surrounding the film itself. Instead of the pre-release discourse focusing solely on the intrinsic artistic merits of the movie, Baldoni's directorial vision, and the compelling narrative drawn from Hoover's popular novel, conversations are now, unfortunately, tinged with the lingering question mark and uncomfortable undertones of the SNL backfire. Did this well-meaning, albeit ultimately miscalculated gesture inadvertently erect an unforeseen hurdle in the path of Baldoni in his cinematic creation? It serves as a stark and sobering lesson in the capricious and often paradoxical nature of Hollywood, where even the most luminous stars, armed with the best intentions, can unintentionally cast a long and potentially detrimental shadow.
Go back to the fact that I thought you guys couldn't leave the house. I thought it was so bad you couldn't go anywhere. And now you're poking fun at it. Now you're poking fun at it. So now it's just a big joke? This whole thing's a joke? Huh.
Consequently, the pivotal question now becomes, what strategic course of action will be undertaken in the ensuing weeks and months? How will Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, seasoned veterans and acknowledged masters of public image management, navigate this unanticipated and potentially damaging turbulence? Have they already initiated discreet damage control measures behind the scenes, engaging crisis PR specialists and leveraging their extensive industry networks to mitigate the fallout? Are there highly paid publicists working tirelessly to subtly reshape reshape the narrative, attempting to reframe the SNL incident and deflect any lingering negative perceptions? Or conversely, are they opting for a strategy of strategic silence, consciously choosing to remain publicly unengaged with the swirling rumors, hoping that the whispers will eventually dissipate, fading into the ephemeral background noise of Hollywood gossip? The fundamental truth, particularly within the hypersensitive ecosystem of Hollywood, remains that perception, often divorced from objective reality, frequently solidifies into the prevailing narrative, and even seemingly minor shifts in that carefully constructed perception can precipitate enduring consequences, impacting future opportunities and influencing long-term career trajectories. While the established careers of Reynolds and Lively are undoubtedly secure, fortified by years of consistent success and robust public goodwill, this alleged rejection, however nuanced and internally focused, serves as a stark and timely reminder that even the most universally beloved figures are not entirely immune to missteps, miscalculations, and the potentially harsh realities of unintended repercussions. The full ramifications of this SNL stunt and its subsequent industry fallout are still actively unfolding, and the ultimate impact on both their meticulously crafted reputations and Justin Baldoni's deeply personal project remains, at this juncture, tantalizingly uncertain.
The way your wife took over that movie was shameful, and never because he's a harasser. No, everything I'm gathering, the truth of this story, it seems to be Blake sensed she had a hit on her hands. And as soon as that happened, she took over. Complete control of that movie, brought in A-list producer, everybody else, and steamrolled the entire production from Justin.
Beyond the hushed pronouncements and strategic maneuvering within Hollywood's inner sanctums, another crucial dimension to this unfolding narrative is the reaction emanating from the vast and often unpredictable realm of public opinion, the fans. In the age of instant social media feedback and amplified online discourse, the court of public opinion can wield considerable influence, sometimes even eclipsing the traditionally dominant power structures of the entertainment industry. Initial indicators suggest a mixed and somewhat polarized response from Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's typically devoted fan base. While a segment remains staunchly supportive, dismissing the rejection whispers as overblown industry gossip or even fabricated drama, another faction has begun to express a discernible shift in sentiment. Online forums and social media threads are now peppered with comments ranging from cautious questioning to outright criticism regarding the alleged SNL stunt. Some fans are dissecting the available fragments of information, attempting to decipher the precise nature of the misstep and whether it genuinely warrants the purported industry cold shoulder. Others are expressing disappointment, suggesting that the stunt, whatever its specifics, may have been perceived as insensitive, ill-conceived, or simply out of sync with the prevailing social zeitgeist. Adding fuel to this nascent fan scrutiny is the growing awareness of the sensitive thematic terrain explored within It Ends With Us. Colleen Hoover's novel delves into complex and often emotionally charged issues, including domestic abuse and toxic relationship dynamics. If the SNL stunt, in its attempt at humor or promotion, inadvertently trivialized or clashed with these weighty themes, it could explain not only the subtle Hollywood recoil, but also the emerging unease within a segment of the audience now acutely aware of the film's subject matter. The specter of unintended offense, particularly in an era of heightened social awareness and online accountability, looms large, potentially amplifying the perceived backfire far beyond the initial industry ripples.
There's been thousands of people who've hosted this show over 50 years. We weren't asking where every single person was. So no, there was no expectation that Blake Lively needed to be there from the 2009 hosting gig. I think everyone would have been okay if Ryan and Blake sat this one out.
Looking beyond the immediate fallout and the swirling vortex of speculation surrounding Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni, this alleged SNL backfire incident may hold broader implications for the entertainment industry as a whole. It serves as a potent case study in the ever-increasingly precarious tightrope walk that celebrities and studios must navigate in the pursuit of viral marketing and audience engagement. The line between edgy humor and tone-deaf insensitivity has become razor-thin, particularly in a media landscape saturated with instant critique and rapid-fire judgment. This situation could prompt a recalibration within Hollywood marketing strategies, urging a more cautious and perhaps more nuanced approach to promotional stunts, particularly those venturing into comedic toxic or potentially controversial territory. Studios and publicists may become even more risk-averse, favoring safer, more predictable promotional tactics over bolder, potentially more impactful, but also more volatile strategies. Furthermore, this incident underscores the evolving power dynamics between traditional Hollywood gatekeepers and the increasingly influential force of public opinion, amplified through social media. The whispers of rejection within the industry, while significant, are now being paralleled and potentially even amplified by the burgeoning scrutiny from fans and online commentators. The long-term outlook remains uncertain. Will Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively successfully weather this perceived storm, leveraging their established goodwill and strategic damage control to minimize any lasting negative impact? Will It Ends With Us, despite the unintended pre-release turbulence, still find its audience and achieve box office success based on its own merits? And perhaps most importantly, will this incident serve as a cautionary tale, prompting a more thoughtful and socially conscious approach to celebrity marketing and public engagement within the ever-turbulent waters of the entertainment industry? Only time will reveal the ultimate consequences of this SNL stunt and its unforeseen ripple effects across the Hollywood landscape and beyond. This saga, if the persistent whispers emanating from the heart of Hollywood are to be given credence, unveils a deeply fascinating and perhaps subtly unsettling truth about the contemporary entertainment industry. Even seemingly genuine and altruistic attempts at inter-industry goodwill can, with alarming ease, backfire in spectacular and unforeseen ways. Even the most meticulously constructed and seemingly impenetrable public images, built over years of calculated effort and strategic presentation, can be unexpectedly dented by a single misstep. And even Saturday Night Live, a platform traditionally perceived as a relatively safe space for celebrity reinvention and comedic exploration, can, under specific circumstances, morph into an unexpected stage for unanticipated industry drama and potentially damaging professional repercussions. Does this alleged, albeit subtle, Hollywood rejection of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively presage a nascent era of heightened scrutiny within the entertainment world, where even seemingly minor miscalculations in judgment or tone can trigger unexpectedly significant and enduring repercussions? And perhaps more crucially, what long-term implications will this unfolding situation hold for Justin Baldoni and the ultimate reception of It Ends With Us amidst this unanticipated and increasingly turbulent pre-release storm? We invite you to share your perspectives and insights in the comments section below. Is Hollywood in this instance exhibiting an overreaction amplified by its inherent sensitivity to public perception? Or does this unfolding narrative serve as a necessary, albeit harsh, lesson in the constantly evolving landscape of fame, influence, and the ever-shifting boundaries of acceptable public performance in the modern age?